This week's Safety Toolbox talk is on Subpart M in the Fall Protection Standard of the 1926 OSHA Construction Standards on, of all things, hole covers. So for those of you watching this right now, what dimension does the Occupational Safety and Health Administration call for a hole cover? How big does a hole have to be in a floor or anywhere on a roof deck? A hole that you could drop something through and it could strike another tradesman working at a elevation below the one you're working on. What is that dimension? Do you remember? Because it's very small. It's 2 inches. If I have a hole 2 inches in diameter or larger in any elevation that I'm walking on, it could be a slip, trip hazard. You could blow out an ankle, twist out a knee, hurt your hip, fall on your face, break a wrist. Hole covers are a necessity. There are a lot of different sizes of hole covers out there. This is an engineered hole cover. The way OSHA defines a hole cover is it's an engineered, typically engineered, hole cover that can withstand twice the intended load. Well, what is my intended load? Is it just tradesmen? Or do I have a scissors lift up on that third floor deck and I've got a bunch of mechanical holes in the floor? These are adjustable, by the way. They come as small as 4 inches. They go as big as 18 inches in diameter. And yes, they are engineered and you can drive a scissors lift over the top of them. Hole covers for paving and excavations in roads a lot of times are metal plates that you have to set in place with a crane. This is thought about on your, and I know we've all driven over them, right? How about when you're working on that roof system and it's coffee break and you decide to sit on a skylight? The OSHA blogs talk about tradesmen falling through skylights all the time. That's why they make these guards, and there's a lot of different guards for skylights out there. Hole covers are a necessity. Years ago on one of our projects, an OSHA inspector came by and we had boxed out for a concrete pour a shower basin. Our 2x4s were still in, the drain was in the middle of it. It wasn't poured in yet. It wasn't even stripped out yet. They considered that a trip hazard on that deck, and that's what we're talking about here. Holes create trips and fall exposures and falling objects through them holes to lower elevations. They typically carry about a $2,700 fine, a hole does. And I'm talking about a small hole. And if you're cited within 5 years, because remember when you're cited for anything, it stays on your record as an employer for 5 years, which could be a tenfold penalty if you're cited again on lack of hole covers in the next 5 years. So this week, walk our projects, every elevation, looking for holes in the floor that haven't been covered. Typically they are orange, they have to be fastened to the floor, and they have to have hole written on top of them. All standard requirements. Let's cover that this week. Let's have a safe week. Thank you.